All right, welcome to this episode of the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast, episode 204. I'm your host, Jeremy Powers, and joining me this week, we have Steven.
Happy 2026.
And joining us once again, because he decided to show up this time, Chase.
Hello.
If you'd be like, nah, I'm out, and just leave. Aw. Missed you last week. Glad you're back this week, though, because we have, well, we're going to talk some shit about EB Games down in New Zealand. I know that much is going to happen because we talked about this last week, and now live with what actually happened, it got worse. So
We
Chase
have
can
somebody
tell us
live
about
on the scene.
Yeah.
Oh God, the humanity, the backed up reversed sales, all kinds of shit. We've also got a bunch of Lego news to talk about in regards to Pokemon, maybe even a little bit of Legend of Zelda. Resident Evil had their showcase recently. Netflix and Sony are making deals with Nintendo movies, which is so hilarious to talk about. And then we got a bunch of stuff to talk about for the speedrun and everything else, plus the big question this week. So before we jump into that, we'll go ahead and talk about what we've been doing. So, Steven, actually, you know what, Chase, you haven't been here. Let's start with you. What you been doing, man?
So to nobody's surprise, I'm still playing Road Trader. That game is a massive time sink, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
And then just recently, Shinoa decided to jump back into, Shinoa decided to jump into, for the first time, a game called Magic the Gathering Arena, the online computer version of the game. Yeah, and so then I was like, I've got to log in. So then I ended up logging in, and then we've actually had like a few games against each other and stuff. And
Help us, we don't have any more money.
things were said. That was all right, you know. But no, actually, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to get back into. I used to play the card game back when I was in uni. I had one of my roommates actually played the game and showed me how to play it, and I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. But I'm poor, so I can't buy any cards. That's
why I never got into it. Everyone's like, oh yeah, just buy all these cards and we'll replace them every so often.
Cards are a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of weird too, because like they've gone away from kind of there's still quite a few cards that have like the fantasy theme to it, but they've gone to like all these different like crossovers now. So it's like you're not even actually necessarily playing Magic with like Magic the Gathering cards. You're playing Magic with like Final Fantasy cards and Avatar cards.
They had Transformers. They did Ghostbusters, both of which I was tempted to get, and thankfully
My
I
Little
didn't.
Pony.
Spider-Man, Garfield, I think got a set. Like
They're doing The Office as well.
I'm just waiting for Magic the Gathering Pokemon cards or something. Like somehow, just to make you pay more and have more people scalp them.
$100 a card, and
The only crossover that I thought actually like slightly made sense was the one where they did with Godzilla, because I'm like, they actually kind of look like they could fit somewhat.
I don't know. Like, Pokemon and Magic the Gathering cards combined would just already come pre-scalped. You just get empty packets, and they just send the good cards to people.
Final Fantasy is not bad because of all the creatures.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
It does kind of work. Everything else, like Transformers is pushing it. Ghostbusters is really pushing it. Garfield makes no fucking sense. Like,
The Office makes the zero.
Didn't SpongeBob get one? I don't know how that would...
Probably.
Pretty much name something, it's gonna, because we can't even make fun of it. Like, we could have a question like,
it's becoming Fortnite with cards.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because we could have the discussion of like, who would you want to see in Magic the Gathering? And we can't make up enough shit. It keeps coming out, and it would be real. Yeah. I don't even know if this is true. I bet you money. Did they do Magic the Gathering and Power Rangers? I bet you that's there somewhere. I'm just thinking of shit off the top of my head.
If not, it's probably going to be a thing at some point.
I'm going to look it up while you continue, because I find out this is real. Huh? I will to existence.
It's going to be announced tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
So as far as like what I've been playing, that covers that.
Yeah, Power Rangers. Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, man. So what about the this issue with EB Games down there?
Yeah,
because I want to get into this a little bit while we're talking about it.
So EB Games, EB Games went through so over here in New Zealand, you go through what's called a consultation to change. Mm-hmm. Like when you're planning on like disestablishing a position or shutting a company down, it's called a consultation to change. in what was the shortest consultation period I've ever seen in my life, where it was like, we're thinking about shutting down. I've been consulted to shut down. Like, it's basically like what it, so they announced that they were in the consultation to change, and then like a couple days later they actually finalized it, said yep, shutting all the stores in New Zealand down. The only decent thing that's come out of this is now they've changed it to where you can order, people in New Zealand can order from EB Games Australia, and EB Games Australia tends to have more stuff anyway, which is fair. I mean, it's a land of 22 million people. It's bound to have more stuff.
It's a little bigger than where you're at, yeah.
Yeah, I think New Zealand's only got around like 5 million people. So,
bit of a difference.
Yeah, a bit of a slight bit.
Now you can order just right.
Yeah. New Zealand could be a state basically in the US. Like, it's basically about that size. But so they announced that they were doing a closing sale, and the original announcement was 50% off everything.
Woo!
No exceptions. And then retro games and pre-owned games were going to be $3.
Ooh, $3 Earthbound.
Yeah. So then so what ended up happening was they released that, and they let that simmer for a little bit, and then on like the day before the sale, they basically rug pulled it and released a new sale saying that it was 50% off certain things, and that it wasn't, and they weren't doing the $3 for pre-owned and retro stuff anymore. And so but then it got even worse, because when you actually go to the store, which my missus did go to the store, one of them here in Christchurch, there's 4 in Christchurch, she went there, and basically they had backdoored almost anything that was 50% off. So like, you couldn't get like controllers, you couldn't get PC hardware, you couldn't get basically like anything that was of value that you couldn't get consoles.
Value.
You basically couldn't get anything of like real value at them, because they wanted to backdoor it and sell it online, is what ended up happening. They just wanted people to come in and take all the junk out, like all the novelty items and stuff. Well, then what ended up happening was they sold all the controllers and the PC hardware. They wanted to sell all that online. Well, then the next day when the sale came to the online store couldn't handle all the people logging into it. So then they shut down the website and said, go to the store to get your stuff. And so now when I went to their web page, there was just a big sign there that says, web sales are no longer available. Go to the store. I was like, wow, okay, this is what are you guys doing?
On second thought, on third thought, on fourth thought.
Yeah, we know you were shutting down, but you don't shut down any management or thought process first.
I don't think there was. I think there wasn't much thought process put into this anyway. They just wanted to get these stores out of their overhead.
That's such a mess.
It is
like, unless there was incentive to I don't know, to backdoor all this stuff. Even as a manager, I would have been like, no, I'm going to sell it all here. And what are you going to do? Fire me?
Yeah, because Shanoa asked them. She went up to the thing and said, "Oh, are you guys selling controllers?" And they said, "No, we can't." They told us we can't. So I was like, okay.
But still, what are they going to do? Tell you to return it?
Because, all right, I assume the employees are going to hold back some stuff for themselves. There's no way they're not.
Oh, yeah.
I used to work at a GameStop. I think most of us have worked in stores before. You're going to hold some of this stuff back, especially if it's like already the end.
If I'm buying 6 PS5 controllers all half off, then yeah, we can't sell them because I bought them all.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can think of in their head, because I was like, you're closing. You're not going to have a job soon. They can't do anything to you if you like go against the grain here, especially since they did it themselves. So it's like, it's not like they put it in the computer like Walmart, where it's just like, oops, this can't be sold. The system doesn't let us.
Yeah. So
I guarantee every one of those employees went home with at least some kind of new console. Like, I know they had to.
Switch to something. PS5 Pro, box of Xbox Ones, whatever.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it was definitely a mess, though, to say the least.
Sounds
But
like
I
it.
don't really expect much from EB Games slash GameStop. So yeah, that was the fun and excitement from that.
Good Lord. Well, it sucked you weren't here last week to talk about it, but it kind of worked out for the best because now we get an actual firsthand experience of what the
Yeah.
hell is going on.
There was
Oh.
people lined up like outside of malls, like wrapping around malls and stuff. It was crazy.
Because I saw pictures on and videos online, sent them to you guys. And
So let me ask you this, Chase, because I know scalping is pretty much a worldwide thing for a lot of places, but like, how bad is it normally like during a release that you've got people like trying to line up to grab stuff and try and resell it, and like it had to have been so much worse for something like this
Oh, it was
when
pretty.
they thought the things were going to be there.
It was pretty bad because like over here in New Zealand, we have like our version of eBay, which is called Trade Me.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much Trade Me blew up with like all these like used games and stuff when that happened. But then it was funny too because there's a couple like local like your I guess kind of like local video game stores. Like there's
Mom
one
and pop
called like
stores.
like one of them's called like Applebee Games.
Mm-hmm.
At the EB Games that Chanel was at, standing in line was one of the owners of Applebee Games. So it's like you already know what he's doing.
Oh, he's going to buy up everything he can to resell back at his store.
Exactly. So it was just it was so stupid.
I would almost honestly respect that more than people that scalp stuff. At least he's like feeding into the store that's still going to be there, to do something.
When Game Vault closed,
Mm-hmm.
rest in peace. Like the other stores like Ben's Game Zone and Pop Culture, they bought like a lot of our supplies. And Pop Culture, I think, they bought our resurfacer, which did great work.
Mm.
It was an awesome machine. So
Right.
it was nice to know like where it went. So we got okay, we can go there if we need to use it.
We about to say, yeah, if I need that, I know where to go now.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Oh, that's a mess. All right, so I'm gonna jump into my stuff real quick before we get to yours, Stephen, just because we weren't 100% sure if we were gonna have the show tonight or if I was even gonna be talking, because I had a lovely dental surgery adventure where I had 3 teeth taken out, which thankfully you can't really tell. Like they did a pretty good job because I'm missing 3 front teeth because I have a degradation in bone in my jaw that was leading to that problem. So they pulled them to see if that would help and get the jaw to grow back or work on something. And I was having trouble trying to get this thing in there to talk and get everything right. But it's like one of those things where it's like it's very picky about how you pop it in there, and you have to like lock it in the right way, and then all of a sudden it doesn't even affect me, and I can talk just fine. It's like because it was giving me a headache, and I was kind of worried about it, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of loose. Pop. Oh, it doesn't hurt anymore. What the hell? So I was a little worried about that, but I have my teeth, so we're good. Beyond that, I've been playing a bunch of Fantasia and Neo Dimension still continuing that. I have no idea how long that's going to take. Story's dragging on for a little bit, but I keep finding more characters, and I don't have any idea how far I am in this thing. New mechanics keep getting added. I'm wondering when the map's going to expand again. I'm wondering if I've bit off more than I can chew. So I'm going to try and get through this thing, but oh my God, this is it's hard to believe this was on a freaking iPad or something. Like this feels like too much game for an iPad, but still liking it. It's still interesting. Good voice acting. That's still sticking around. The other thing that's got me to take a break from that though is the Animal Crossing New Horizon Switch 2 edition and 3.0 update that came out, which I took advantage of that. When you boot it up, if you did not lose your island like a friend of mine did, he found out it didn't transfer from an old system, and then his kid started a new island on that Switch and erased his old one. So may his entire village rest in peace. They're all dead. I told him I would give him whatever he needed to start over. So I may be supplying a whole bunch of fruits and stuff to him to get him going. Because I have a little hidden orchard in the back that has every fruit and all the stuff. But you'll eventually run into Rossetti walking around the island. Find him early, talk to him, and he'll give you 1 free day of using the reset function as much as you want. Otherwise, whenever you want to use it, it's like 60,000 bells. And you get an entire day to use it. And you can go to different spots.
Oh, no.
and
Out of
reset
like
things.
47 million bells.
I've only got 2.5 million, but you know, I'm on the lower end, I guess, of the richness of Animal Crossing, but I think I'll be okay. But I used that to clear out all the flowers and a bunch of other stuff and kind of rebuilding my island up. But I forgot I had a room I built into my house that was the old Zenspath 4-button podcast room. So I actually had like a flag of the logo made and a little podcast area. So I'm trying to redo that for the Zenspath Entertainment Network podcast now to update it. Because you could get hats and everything. Like I had more merchandise in that game than I actually had.
Yeah, people walking around your island with the merch.
That's when I realized somebody walked by with the hat and I went, oh, I forgot that was there. I need to fix that. But I'm liking how it looks. I still got to finish some of the museum stuff, but like the dinosaurs were already done. Working on the fish, most of the bugs. The art takes forever. I have so little art in there. But it is working out nicely. The hotel has been added. Thankfully, it was not in the way. My little dock that it gets attached to was way off on the left side. So it's out of the way and it didn't affect anything. But it's kind of fun being able to actually build the rooms, which is pretty much just Happy Home Designer again. But you can unlock stuff. It takes a few days worth of work. But eventually I'll unlock where I get special items I can order, which is all the Nintendo stuff I can get. So I want to get those. And then I got to do the amiibos as well. But if you have Animal Crossing, get the update because that's like 99% of everything. And it's completely free. You just get it. And it's not restricted to Switch 2. Switch 1 or Switch 2. The Switch 2 edition stuff is like $5 to update. That just gives you better loading times, like 4K resolution.
12 players.
Yeah, 12 players if everyone's on Switch 2. It has to be everybody. And you get the megaphone, which is kind of neat because you can just call for somebody and they'll come running over instead of having to hunt them down. I should have tried that with Rossetti. Somebody should try that. I don't know if that actually works, if I could just call Rossetti and bring his ass to me. That would have made it so much easier than me running around trying to find him. But I'm happy with it, and it's kind of revived Animal Crossing a bit for me, and I'm having fun with it again. So
yeah, every time I sat down, I was like, I only have 2 hours to spare. I can't. I need to do it on a day I have to spare.
Yeah, I've been taking the time and taking it with me. The mouse function's kind of fun, just being able to use it. It's not the best. They could have done it a little better, but it's there. Whatever. So. And then lastly, we've been watching the premiere of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. They had a 2-episode starter for that. And I know a lot of people were kind of giving it a lot of shit, which, you know, for any Star Trek series seems to be the case nowadays. You know, oh, it's not my Trek, or this is wrong, or that's wrong. I really liked it. I like a lot of Star Trek. There was really good references to previous series, which, mind you, this takes place way in the future, even of Star Trek. So we're finding out about stuff centuries later where it's tied in for things. Of course, the Doctor from Voyager is still there because he's a hologram and he's just grumpy and been there for centuries. And it's hilarious with him dealing with kids. But they do mention like characters and things from older shows. They get brought up, the Protostar and a lot of that crew from Star Trek Prodigy, which I hope gets a 3rd season somehow. That is mentioned because the Doctor was part of that show. So this might be the best we get, is mentions and kind of finding out what happened to them. But they actually took one of the character designs from that show, which is, CG animated. They brought it into their CG suite for the real life show, cleaned up how the model looked, and had one of the characters actually walking around. Not meant to be the same one. Once again, centuries later, they'd be dead. But it was just kind of neat to see that version of it interacting with people as it's walking around, which was kind of a fun little Easter egg they have in there. There's a lot of like Lower Decks jokes that are in there, like for exocomps and so forth, including one that it's not called, like they had a weird exocomp on Lower Decks called Peanut Hamper. Stupid name, I know. But they have another one that was there that's called like Cashew Basket or something, kind of almost like a joke reference to it. but they did bring back the lady that voiced it in the show to voice the few lines this one had as everyone keeps shifting around one of the elevators, and it's like, okay, fine, I'm leaving. So that was a nice little fun deep cut. If you like Star Trek, watch it. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the new seasons or the new episodes that'll be coming out each week. Some people were like, oh, it's going to be a bunch of teen drama stuff. I was like, well, yeah, it's a school. You have kids and young adults along with older people. So it's going to be a show that goes with that. That's like if you're watching a medical drama, it's going to be in a hospital and there's going to be medical shit. You know what you're getting into. But you're still getting good Star Trek stuff. Paul Giamatti is a really good villain. Like, he's very energetic and loves his role. That guy is really good with a lot of the stuff he does. So he plays, it's like a half Klingon, half Tellarite, which is just weird. But he's having fun with it, so that's the best we can have. All right, well, enough about me. We're talking about Star Trek stuff again. Stephen, what about you? What you been doing?
It's going to be highly detailed. I actually decided to, because there was only 4 episodes, watch the Marvel Zombies and kind of point out, I'm like, okay, cool, they got that actor to come back. They did not get that actor to come back. It was a nice little arc. I think they probably have to do either season 2 or wrap it up somehow, because the way it ended was just so, so, and I do miss the comic book versions where they kind of talked. The zombies talked a lot and made jokes and stuff, while these ones were just like rawr, except for the main one, the Queen of the Dead. But other than that, I've been playing ZZZ.
Zombie.
I already gave him my monthly money, so I got that done.
Sounds like a bill.
I didn't have to go far getting the new character. The Gotcha Gods blessed me with the character, so then I'd been working and just got her like best weapon. So I'm just building that up now and logging in every day. And then you're like, but then where's your money going? Unfortunately, which I'm going to put as a extension to the CZZ. Unfortunately, I bought something from Best Buy, and when you buy something from stores like Best Buy, Michaels, and stuff like that, you get those offers at the end that say like, hey, do you want HelloFresh? And you're usually like no to all of them. But this one caught my eye, and it said, do you want 75 cash back if you play this mobile game? And I'm like, okay. So I played 2 mobile games and spent like $2 on each of them to get like extra stuff. Got to the level they wanted me to, and lo and behold, I got $75 cash back from both of them. So I got stuff from Amazon, and I was just like, is this all they've got? And then they're like, do you want some more? And I'm like, I'll take another one. I did that one, got another $75 to Michael's, bought a bunch of display cases, which I'll show on Discord because I finally got them all put up. And I was just like, how far down can this rabbit hole go? Well, I can officially say, don't put me in a casino where it tells me if I play enough, I can get cash back, because I am playing 4 mobile games right now, which across them all, I've spent about maybe $60 on them, because once I've hit their levels, because I'm already almost at the levels they need to be, I will get $300. So I'm like, yeah, that's a fair trade.
So on the first the first extra quarter of this year, come listen as Chase and I try and have an intervention with Steven on cell phone games.
No, when I'm done with this, I'm done with it, because as soon as I hit the level I need,
I just need one more drink. I just need one more hit.
And I've even gone back like some kind of crazy gambling addict, and I'm like, is there any more mobile games? And they're like, no, there's no more. And I'm like, okay, maybe I clean them out, because once I'm done with these, I'm done with these.
Later on, we're going to find out his wife swapped out his phone for like an old flip phone.
Oh, I got my wife in on it.
He's trying to do Java games. It's like, it won't work.
She's already doing a couple of them, but she's not spending money. She's a pro at that. So she's like further than me in the games. I'm like, how is that possible? And she gets different unlocks. Like, she watches ads for free stuff. And I was like, I don't have that yet. And she's like, because you spent money to have no ads. I'm like, yep, kind of makes sense. It didn't say that, but that's kind of the logic being worked there. That if you give them money, they won't have you watch ads to play longer. They'll say, "Give us money," and then they're like, "Oh, if you give us money, we won't have you watch ads." And I'm like, "Dang it!"
See, I'm glad I only have to worry about Amanda with versions of Plants vs Zombies. As long as it's a version of the original style of Plants vs Zombies, that's all she wants to play. That's all she cares to play on her phone. That's all she likes for gaming. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
But it's paying its dividends right now. I'm making more than I'm spending, and that's what matters.
Look, we'll let this continue if you can find a way to help cover the cost of hosting and other stuff on this side with your cell phone addiction. Then I'll be like, well, we can let this slide. I'm okay with it. We don't need the 12-step program.
Because every time I was like, I should play a game, and I was just like, but it's been an hour, and I can check into my games again.
Oh yeah, I've never been a fan of mobile gaming with cell phones. I've people try so hard to push me into it.
Let me just tell you how dirty, cutthroat, and horrible it is in the world of mobile gaming. Now that I get to see it, full screen or up close, the way that these two companies that seem like they're different companies, but I don't know if they are, they eventually give you the same rundown. First they'll just give you like, oh, buy this and get this free, or oh, we've unlocked it. The more you play, the more you earn for getting further in the game. And then they all do it the same way. Now there's these collectible cards that if you finish the set will give you a reward. And I was like, why does this game have cards? Why did Monopoly Go have Harry Potter cards I had to collect? This is the dumbest thing I had to go through.
Because they knew you'd do it.
They're all following the same thing. They all have collectible cards for no apparent reason whatsoever. They all have their offers and deals, which is fine, but the card thing is still messing with me because I'm just like, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to give me more things to not get to a higher level by saying like, collect these cards instead? And I'm like, I don't want to collect these cards. Get away from me.
See, I know we all spend our money responsibly, like large Lego sets or other things, like like full-grown children. So that's awesome. Hopefully your cell phone addiction doesn't become an issue. But...
No, it won't become an issue. I'm pretty strong when it comes to these things, but I can see why gambling.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
Look, I spend my money on Transformers. They're not that expensive. Okay, there's walls of them, but still, we have problems. Look, you keep playing your gambling cell phone games. Just don't go back to solder. That's all I'm saying. Just stay away from solder, and I think you'll be okay. We have the nightmare of whatever's going to happen with your Switch Lite.
I organized all my tools, and I have a special place now for all my solder and silicone and everything. So
I hope it's putting it in a box to ship to me, so it's in a safe home.
No, I'm ready to take apart another system.
God, why?
Make sure you stream it so that way Jeremy can watch.
Oh, I'll be found dead with a coronary. My last message is me screaming, "Don't you put that there!"
All the upholstery's like ripped off of his furniture.
Just watch me put a screwdriver underneath the chip and just pry it off.
He's gonna find a way. He's like, during this, should I put solder here? Well, if Jeremy sends me this gift card to this cell phone game, I won't do it. I'm like, you motherfucker.
I'll be on
Twitch. Heard of this game.
I'll be on Twitch and I'll be for 15 bits. I won't do it.
Amanda be like, what's all this money on the credit card? He's like, I had to stop him. He was going
I don't
mad.
have any projects yet, but I just have the tools in case.
You have the tools, but none of the talent. Okay.
Gotta learn somewhere.
I'm learning from you. Like, this is terrible. We're going to figure that part out later. All right, let's jump over to the group chat because we got a few things to talk about that we forgot from last week and some things from this week. All right, so pickups. Some of our stuff we've picked up. I know I have a few things. Chase, do you have anything you've picked up recently? I know you just showed that book.
I just showed it.
I don't know if you had anything new other than that.
So this is Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory. This is the rule book. Whoops.
That's a rule book. That's, good Lord.
Part 1 of 16?
No, so what it is it's actually a TTRPG set in the Warhammer 40k universe, which I didn't know existed. And then I found out it existed, and I was like, you know what? I like to collect Warhammer 40k things, so I'm going to actually collect this. because apparently it's actually quite fun. So from what I've heard, and then I actually do have a starter set as well for like a new player starting out. It gives you like some dice and some pre-made character sheets so you can see what it looks like creating a character and things like that.
Nice.
But other than that, I don't really have anything else pickup wise.
Okay.
I did put in my pre-order for the new Owlcat Games RPG, The Dark Heresies. So I'll be getting a nice little Kroot statue, which would be cool.
Ooh, nice. For me, we had a little toy convention, like a tiny one at our fairgrounds that started today. And it's going to go on tomorrow. I might swing back by a little bit. But Amanda and I and Jennifer, on our way back from eating lunch, decided to stop by and take a look. And lo and behold, there's so many people selling Hot Wheels. Like, oh my God, there are so many Hot Wheels in there. But I found a guy who had pretty much all the Transformers Hot Wheels I've been looking for. So here's both of the normal Bumblebee and the Gold Bug version, or that's what at least I call it, of those, which I've been looking for. So I grabbed both of those. And they had the 2025 version of Optimus Prime, of the Semi. But then this one I've been looking for a while, which is Optimus Prime with the trailer, which I find funny how much bigger the new one is compared to the one that comes with the trailer, because that is like noticeably smaller. But I've been looking for these things for a while, especially this. So all I'm missing now from the normal ones released, not the collector's box ones they have that they were trying to sell for like $100 that are sealed. Like, screw that. I can't even see what's in it. I'm not going to pay that much for it. But the truck, they have an Ultra Magnus version, which is the white pickup, the white cab in the front, and then it's got the lift trailer that you can put cars in for that one. I'm trying to find it. It got released kind of as an alternative, almost like with the Bumblebee, how they had the regular and the gold version. So I think that's the only one I'm looking for, but it's not too bad. I got all four of them for $25, which that's not terrible. The truck trailer by itself online goes for more than that sometimes, so I'm cool with it. What about you, Steven? I know you're wanting to say what you got because you always have something.
Yes. Well, I opened my Jack's Pacific Nintendo toys because they tend to go on clearance. So I did get this King Boo set.
Nice.
King Boo and Little Boo both glow in the dark. So I was like, okay, cool. I do have a Mario sitting around here somewhere. I'll put them up somewhere.
I gotta look for that one. I wouldn't mind a King Boo as well.
Target had a deal where if I ordered $100 worth of games, they took $30 off, which was great because it included pre-orders. So,
okay.
I pre-ordered the Resident Evil Requiem Generations pack for Switch,
which is already $100.
8 and 9. And with the $30 off, it basically the other game I got with it was free, which I have to try out, called NBA Bounce. It is outright games, so they make stuff that can be questionable, but all of the screenshots look like NBA Jam, so I'm interested to see if this is just like a poor man's NBA Jam or not.
Okay, kind of curious.
And then like Jeremy, sometimes I say, okay, if this game's cheap and I've never heard of it, I'll take a chance on it. So Serenity Forge was doing a sale for the new year, so I got this Genesis Noir Collector's Edition. It's usually like $100, but it was $15. So I was like, okay. It is a non-traditional point-and-click adventure, so I was like, okay, that's intriguing. And it even comes with a wristwatch, so I was like, all right, so I got a wristwatch for $15. So I will be checking that one out soon as well.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear how both those games work. Because, like, all right, Chase, I know you're a sports guy for a lot of this stuff. Which way would you go, NBA Jam or NBA Street?
NBA Jam.
Okay. I'd probably still go Street. I really enjoyed the Street games even more than I did NBA Jam.
I would go neither. I would go NBA Hang Time because that's my favorite version.
Oh.
That's true.
Okay.
That on N64. That on N64 is a classic. So
I gotta remember if I have that one. I think I do.
If you finally get it, it's the best one.
I liked this is obviously back when it was EA Sports Berg, but I did like the NFL Street. That was good.
NFL Street was really good. I didn't realize until way later they apparently made a soccer version too.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, I heard about it and I was like, oh wow.
It was hot garbage.
I don't know. N64 sports games, I still always go back to Gretzky Hockey 3D. Freaking love that game.
So you can hear freight train, woo woo.
Well, it's just like you get into boxing matches half the time. It was great. Anyways, carry on, Steven. I know we got distracted there.
The other things I got for Christmas, but I didn't show them off yet. I'll probably show pictures on Discord. But my wife got me a thing from Super Nintendo World of Japan. She got me the Babam.
Ooh.
That it doubles as like a drink holder, not drink holder, snack holder, and it can also like blink red, like it's ready to explode. So I do have to remove the batteries from that. I have that in its display case that I got from Michael's with my gift card from the mobile game. I set up all my acrylics for Phantasy Star Online in another box from Michael's.
Nice.
And I had a friend get me some of the wristbands that I was missing. So I put those in a display too, which I'll show you.
I think all I'm missing is the gold Mario.
And now they said they're making another one, but they haven't announced who or what it is yet.
I'm going to bet probably like Rosalina.
Probably.
Just because the movie coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to guess, yeah. I left space. There's a space for one more, but yeah, I did that.
Yeah, I got to find a way to display those. The boxes are really good because you can display them in the box, but then take them out and use them if you need to.
Yeah.
So,
but I was just like, I told my wife, I was just like, these are not leaving this case. When we go there, we'll just get ones that we can open up and use willy-nilly, get dirty, scratch, doesn't matter. You don't have to be careful with the ones we'll get when we go there.
We bought the whole set, and I made all the kids give them back to me at the end of the day. I was like, all right, cool. Give them to me. I held onto the packaging. Yeah. So they're all safe here. Nice. All right. Next up, we meant to talk about this last week. Steven and I worked on our marriage, which was to finish It Takes Two, which I have to say, like, it was fun, but I still preferred A Way Out. I think that was still a better story, more tension to it. It Takes Two is a lot of fun, though. Like, that is such a mess up house. We were what?
Don't get us wrong. We were heckling the shit out of it. I don't know how this entire time with all those worlds we were going to, what the little girl was doing. How was she feeding herself? Was she going to school? Was it summer vacation? Like,
did nobody notice how long
all,
were we
unconscious? All she did was like, look, Dad, I painted a picture, and Dad's like in another world, and she's like, I guess Dad hates me. I'm gonna go to Mom. Mom, I found your favorite record. Mom's asleep. Okay, I guess everyone hates me. I'm just gonna pack up and run away forever. It's like, what?
Yeah, that family really needs to reconsider like their state. Like they should like maybe get a relative to come stay with them for a bit while they go seek help. Like, because oh my god, that's after they burn that house to the ground. I don't think I'd want to live there anymore.
We have to destroy her toys. Like, what?
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
What do you mean you have a whole treasure trove of pirate treasure underneath your house?
Every time one of us would mess up, nope, divorce. we're done. We're done with this.
Because when we were in that underground level, I was just like, there's a whole treasure hoard under here of gold underneath their house.
Yeah, just go remember that and go get it. Your financial issues are solved.
Yeah, you can go to that park or the skiing or whatever you want to do as much as you want.
But yeah, like it's fun to play. I still prefer A Way Out so far, and then we have the third one that we still have to play later, which is Split Fiction. Thank you. Which I've heard good things about. We have it. I just haven't played it yet. So that one will be eventually to go through, but it was just kind of funny finishing It Takes Two with everything going on. It is somewhat awkward to play with a friend because you're just like, this is supposed to be a couple romantically trying to fix things. And we're just like, all right, Steven, can we make this work? Can our marriage be saved?
I counted how many times I wanted to divorce him. It was fun.
It was pretty damn funny, actually. Oh man, that's Chase. You and your lady should play that one.
They did.
Yeah, we did. I played it twice. Okay. I think I played it once with. I'm pretty sure I played it once with Swan and once with her.
No, I didn't play it with you.
Oh, okay. Then I must have just played it with her.
Yeah, your marriage is terrible.
I played it to a certain point with Christian, and something came up. He played something else, and we got divorced. And then I got married to Jeremy, and then we played.
See, it was technically partially my second playthrough as well, because I had started it, Hell, I'd actually streamed part of it with a previous podcast member, and then that whole fell apart.
Yeah, so we both announced we were back on the market. So we both hooked up again.
This is our first relationship back after nasty divorces, where we saved our marriage.
Rebound. Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, the game's all right. It's definitely it's good. It's fun. I think Split Fiction's probably a little bit better story wise, but
I haven't played it. But where would you stick Split Fiction
that
with
one
Way
is
Out?
The one that they're thinking of making into like a mini series or a movie.
It was Split Fiction.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think that's why that one's story is the strongest, is that it's even getting opted for that.
So to answer your question, Jeremy, because I'm pretty sure I know what the question was going to be, is do I prefer A Way Out over Split Fiction? Yes. I still think A Way Out's number one as far as the Hazelight games.
God, that ending.
So A Way Out's up here, and then I would probably put Split Fiction. I'd probably put It Takes Two.
Makes sense.
And the only
reason, like we're ranking 3 really good games. It's like trying.
It's like you're the worst of like a really really good game. Like it's horrible. I know, but Split Fiction. I mean, to be fair though, you've played It Takes Two. You're gonna go into Split Fiction. You're gonna play Split Fiction. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, this feels like familiar. Should I say? The formula is there, and like Hazelight's made the formula now with It Takes Two, and they're so it's going to have that Hazelight feel.
I kind of feel like this one's going to be not like, I know it's got a lot of fantasy and sci-fi and a lot of stuff, but it won't be quite as surreal in every way that.
Plus, this one I wanted to try something technical
surreal
with it. This one's supposed to be fully cross-platform. So I told him to boot up his copy, and then I'll download the Friends Pass for Switch 2.
Yeah,
and see how it runs.
See how that works.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun way to try it out. Because I have it on Series X, so that's what I'll be playing it on, just to make it easier.
Yeah, I think Shanoa and I both played it on PS5s, so we didn't actually test the crossplay aspect of it.
Okay, we'll get into that. And lastly, something we're going to add to the group chat for a little while. At the beginning of the year, we talked about kind of what games we think the others in the show should try out and everything. So we've kind of been doing our homework and working on that. So we're going to talk about our progress on those. Steven, you've been working on Titanfall 2.
Yep.
I've been working on Star Control 2, your Urquan Masters. Chase, I don't think you've had a chance to start with any of yours yet, have you?
I know Chris, just on a side note, has been working on Rogue Trader.
Oh, nice.
And because he was doing something else while he was playing the game, he found out that when they have to repeat themselves, they get mad and say, you don't know what you're doing. It was another aspect of the game he found out, is if they make them repeat themselves, then they get mad and you lose a lot of like respect.
That's great.
Amazing.
And then he tried the demo, like I told him, of Neon Inferno, which he really loved. And I don't know what he's trying next, but I just love playing Rogue Trader. He was like, I wasn't paying attention, so I told him to repeat stuff. He's just like, I see, you don't know what you're doing then.
That's great.
It sounds awesome. I do.
Yeah,
I definitely will have to link up with him at some point to hear how he's been doing. I was looking into the time splitters. What's the best way to work on playing time splitters 2?
It's gonna be Dolphin Emulator. I'll help you set that up.
Yeah, well, actually, somebody said you can actually get it on Series X now, and it's actually and it's really good.
I think you can get them on PlayStation as well. PlayStation.
Okay.
5.
Okay. But everybody was like, everything I've looked up, like, because there's people asking for advice on like Reddit. People said on PC Dolphin Emulator, but they said if you've got a Series X, actually just buy it on Series X. They said it's a fantastic copy.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were still doing that. That's great.
And it's like $10 US. So they said it's for the price. It's actually a real fantastic version. So they said that's what I recommend. So I'm like, oh sweet, I got a Series X.
Yeah, because I think they have Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect, which are both really good games.
So I'll probably just pick both of them up on that.
Okay, I didn't realize they were still selling the because I had it for original Xbox, didn't even dawn on me they're still selling it digitally. I thought that was one of the disc only backwards compatible. So awesome.
Yeah. So I'm actually
That is a great way to play it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm probably gonna end up doing. I'll just buy it on there.
Nice. Yeah, and if you get the little shooter one I was talking about, you and I can co-op it.
Yep.
So
I'm also looking at. I'm trying to find a copy of Carrion because I do want to get that for Switch.
Yeah,
it's pretty cheap digitally, but yeah, if there is a physical one, you can get.
There's a physical out there, but it was done through like Devolver Digital, so it's one of those like limited releases.
Yeah, I kind of assumed you'd probably end up getting it digitally because it goes on sale a lot.
But otherwise, you can get it for a steal. He's been playing that too. He said he's really been enjoying that.
And Carrion is also on. You don't have a Steam Deck, do you? They do have it on PC as well. Yeah, probably better to get it on like Switch then at that point.
But that's it shouldn't be that much for Switch, and Christian has also been playing Bite the Bullet too, and he's loving that.
Nice.
You have to eat everything.
Yeah, I might end up trying that one out too, just because I was curious what the hell it was about.
It is a hard Metroidvania.
Oh, nice. All right, so Steve, we want to talk about some Titanfall 2. Oh, Carrion's $20 in the U.S. market, just so you're aware, Chase.
But it'll probably go on sale, so 2 times splitters.
Yeah.
One at a time.
For sure.
Titanfall 2. What can I say about Titanfall 2?
This was the one game I was like, all right, I know you don't like mechs, but this is the exception that makes the rule. I feel like this is the one I think could be a good game that you'd be like, I'm not going to hold it against
my experience.
That's fine. Be fair, be honest.
You don't need to convince me of anything, okay? So, I have the deluxe edition. I got it for $2.99.
Yeah, they basically give that shit away now.
So I was like, fine with that. Loading time is abysmal, even on Series X for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, it's so bad when you first started up. I was like, why is it taking forever?
I think they did a front load.
Once it started that, I was like, it was a bit better after that, like because then the levels, going to levels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go through the things I liked. Okay. I really, really, really love meleeing people, and I don't mean the actual takedowns you do. Those are okay, but it's just the sound of that punch whenever I punch somebody. That crunch, I was just like, why is this so satisfying? It's great on my sound system.
Oh, the sound design in that game is top notch. Like everything about that game is top notch.
Yeah, they did a good job there. I really enjoy the dialogue that you can take a serious tone or a funny tone with your mech. I'll call him for right now.
BD.
Yeah, it has that trope where it's like, okay, you start out the game, everybody you know and love is dead and killed. Your best friends and cohorts are killed in front of you, and you play dead, and nobody kills you, and then suddenly you're okay to go on, but you have to do the thing and start from scratch. So I was like, all right, this is fine.
It's mid 2000s EA.
I don't mind the Ghost Runner thing. The Ghost Runner thing was helpful in the beginning, saying like, yeah, you actually can run on that. We're not using yellow paint. We're using a Ghost Runner in case you don't know what you can jump off of. I know some of the helmets pissed me off a little bit because I was just like, I don't know how to get up there because there's all this other stuff around me hurts.
Some of those helmets are hard.
Yeah,
but there was one I got, so I was like, okay, that's how I get the helmets. I got past the first boss, talkative first boss, and started the next level, and that's where I'm at now. I have to say this because it bears repeating. Hey, Respawn, whatever you're doing, I don't care what you have to do or who you have to kill, but can you please hook up with Ubisoft and make a Rainbow Six Vegas 3? Because the talking and the AI of those enemies was so reminiscent of Rainbow Six Vegas that it was blowing my mind that they would say stuff like, the guy's taking us down one by one, stay sharp. When I jumped above him, he's just like, he's above us now, look to the skies. Like, they had a different voice sample for everything I did, whether I was taking him out silently, whether I was shooting them one by one, whether I was sniping them. They were like, he's over here. Like, it was so reactive. It just reminded me of Rainbow Six Vegas. And I was just like, no matter what this game throws at me, this is what I'm going to remember the most, is those guys always didn't talk like normal enemies. They talked like Rainbow Six Vegas, where they knew where to go or how to regroup and stuff like that. And I was just like, I haven't seen that kind of good AI, since Uncharted, where the first Uncharted, where they knew when to dodge and say where they're going, or a grenade out or stuff like that. So that was really good. I'm getting used to like the loadouts, which is nice because you can just change your mech to like a different loadout, and it usually just has fun where you can play with that. I am liking the sniping and stuff like that. Using the beam gun on the humans makes them explode. I was just like, all right, so there's different ways they died too. I was like, cool. So far I'm enjoying it. I can look past the mobile suits, or mechs as we'll call them, because at least they walk at a normal pace. I hate it that most of them can't jump. They just have to like climb things or walk up things. Because I was like, come on, everybody else is like jumping all over the place. I can't. Probably comes later. I don't know.
Different models and things like that with different capabilities.
But yeah, so far so good. I really don't have much bad to say about it, other than the initial loading time. So,
are you playing it on internal memory, or is it on an external hard drive?
I'm playing it right off of the Series X itself.
Okay, that's weird. Because I know like they did have an initial loading, but normally it got quicker after that. But
because I told my Xbox, whenever I put a disc in, install it to the system first.
Okay. Huh, that's weird. I'll have to look at that one. But yeah, like if you're enjoying the way the combat is going now, I can think of a couple fights and levels after this you're going to have a blast with, especially what was the somewhat underground one? Chase, you remember that one where
the sewer, the one where you're in the sewer?
Yeah, you're going to have fun with that.
The sound design definitely makes a difference.
And there's a couple levels later with some twists I don't want to give away because
I just like to punch everybody because it just sounds so good.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it because this is one I was like, I know you're going to enjoy it. I know you were iffy about it because there is a mech involved.
I'm just glad it's also not taking itself 100% seriously because.
Oh no, he's a smart ass.
There's one where BT finally connected, and I was just like, "Oh, did you miss me?" And he's just like, "I'm a robot. I don't miss you, but I 50% missed you." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. Actually, one of the things I appreciated was the takedowns, because I would always try to get new takedowns to see what the different animations were. One of the animations I really appreciated was you actually just walk up, you take their pistol out of their holster, and then you just start shooting them with it. I was like, this is amazing. It's like such a good like animation.
The game is so bittersweet because you could see the peak of what they were capable of doing, and then you realize that EA just pretty much squandered all of that.
They didn't see anything.
Multiplayer shoot. Yeah, they were like, it needs more because
like,
it came out
microtransact this. What the hell?
It had a pretty vibrant online community. Like it was doing pretty good for that, but it came out around the same time as some other big multiplayer shooters, and it just wasn't given a chance.
Yeah.
I think if they re-released Titanfall 2, like did a re-release edition of it or something for newer stuff like Switch 2 or newer systems.
I'm gonna take a page out of chance. I'm gonna take a page out of Firebreak, that classic of 2025, and say whenever Chase and I will get further in the black mud that is Black Ops 7, I will basically take a shower with Titanfall 2.
Yeah, Titanfall 2, I've had a lot of fun playing with friends. And I think a lot of that multiplayer is still going. I had so much fun with it. For me, I've been playing Star Control 2, the Urquan Masters, and it's been an adventure just getting the damn thing to run. Because this is originally a DOS or 3DO game. Here in the year of our Lord 2026, neither of those work very well. So I was like, all right, Chris told me, because it's now a free game, you can get it online. He sent me the link to the website, and I was like, okay, I'm iffy about just downloading a bunch of stuff and trying to fight with it. Okay, Steam has it for $3, so I'm gonna buy it. That was a huge mistake. So I downloaded it, and I was like, cool, it's on Steam, it should work, and it pops up DOSBox, and it's trying to run it, and it is the most convoluted, ridiculous thing. No controller support. It's all just a keyboard. Mouse doesn't even work. It's that old. And I'm trying to figure out how to get it to work. The mechanics were a mess. There's no voice acting, because apparently the DOS version had no voice acting. And I kept trying it. I put it on my Steam Deck going, okay, maybe I can get it to run on here, force some controls and do something. No, it crashes every time it boots. So that didn't work. I tried putting it on my Legion Go. That didn't work correctly. And I tried it on my laptop. Still didn't have good luck with it. And I was like, okay, am I ever going to get to play this damn thing? Like Chris kept saying, like, oh, it's like Star Trek.
Good Old Games either, or no?
Good Old Games was the same version. So even if I got it there, it would have been the same problems.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and look at the link that Chris sent me. And if he hears this, he's going to be, I can already hear it right now on top with you, Steve, and just go, I told him so. Like, he should have just done it. So I clicked on it, and I had the game running in like 10 minutes. Because apparently it does download, it installs it, and it's a modified version that is the full game, which I looked up because I didn't want to just take the game, and I was like, well, I paid him $3 for it, but they did make it basically free. It's abandonware, so they let you have it. But they had gone in and put all the content from the 3DO version as well, so I could choose the interface. It had some basic controller support, which is fine. That's all I needed just for general use. But most importantly, it adds in all the voice acting from the 3DO, which was corny as hell, but I like it. And now that I've kind of figured out how it works, I have found the Earth, got the warning from the aliens, found out their little moon base was abandoned and cleared that out. I've killed so many crew members just sending them on stupid missions. I blew up my first shuttlecraft the other day, which I'm thankfully didn't save. I'm just like, exit the game. I'm just going to pull my old save back. Like, that didn't happen. I did not just kill 16 people. I found this weird, hilariously odd alien race that was hiding on Pluto. I managed to convince them to join my crew. So now they're my second group that's on it, as I'm amassing my main mothership with other ships attached to it. I've been working on trying to upgrade things, and it looks like there's so much more stuff to explore. So I'm like, okay, I've kind of got a hold of this. Let's see where this insanity goes, because I don't know what I'm going to run into. And everything I've seen about it is, no matter how, like, all these times you play it, you're never going to do the same things twice. So I'm just going to kind of take note of whatever insanity I do and just see whatever bad idea I can get away with, and hopefully won't kill too many people. So I can't get on Earth. Apparently it has a slave shield around it, as they call it. And you just can't get on Earth. Everyone on the space station's like, yeah, we can't get down there. They can't get out. Whatever. So I'm sure eventually I'll get to open that. We'll see. Maybe I can get to Earth.
Nice.
But I've explored all of our local solar system. Of course, you can't land on gas giants. They are just that, but you can find some of their moons. Not all the moons are there, but there's a few of them, so I could kind of explore around. I found out some environments are incredibly hostile to everything. Like, as soon as I landed, there's so much stuff going on. I was like, nope, I'm out, because I'm just going to explode. I can buy more shuttlecraft. I probably should look into that, because I'm murdering
More
people.
fodder.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. But it's interesting. I want to see.
You get to name the ships like the shuttlecraft. You could call it the SS Redshirt.
To no one's shock, I am Captain Zen, and then the ship is just called Zenspath. I know, I'm so original. I do that for every freaking game I play, by the way. Because, I mean, Zen was always perfect. If I needed 3 letters to put in a high score, it used to be JEP. Now it's ZEN. I just do that each time. And I've been doing that since probably high school.
Yeah, and you can name yourself in old 8-bit games that only allow 4 letters.
Yeah. So But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm curious to see where the rest of the story goes. I've got it running on my laptop, and I want to see if I can find a way, like with a thumb drive, to move my save back and forth. Because that's the only problem is I have to play it sitting at my desk. And I like my desk, but I want to be able to, have it on my laptop and play it while I'm traveling or doing something, because it seems like a silly game I could just kind of mess around with. So if I can find where that save is and move it successfully, that'll be the last piece of what I want, where I can just enjoy it as I go around. So, but yeah, no, you can tell Chris, I'm getting a laugh. I am enjoying this old ass DOS game, and
Nice.
it is messed up. So we'll see what weirdness happens. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that we're all enjoying the games we've been recommended. So that's good, because that could have gone so wrong. All right, let's jump over to our news for this week. We just got a few things to talk about. All right, so first up, Pokemon Legos finally were announced, aimed at adult collectors. They had the Eevee for $59.99 at 587 pieces. Pikachu and Pokeball is $199 with 2,050 pieces.
Ugly as hell.
It's kind of weird, yeah. The stand is interesting, but at least his face is printed instead of being stickers. And then the mother of all sets is the Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, which is a staggering $650, 6,838 pieces. Mind you, my Enterprise D was 3,600 pieces. So this thing is almost double that. And it came with a gift with purchase of the original badge set from the Kanto region, but those have pretty much are already gone. The first wave of those sold out. They're hoping more of them will come out later. Scalpers, as we talked about earlier, are already on it, so I'm sure those are going to be going. I think I've seen some going for almost more than the Pokemon set, almost $1,000 for some of those. So yeah, I know the other one, if you bought like the Pikachu and Pokeball or the Eevee, you could earn enough to get a little Poke Center, and I think that's already sold out as well. That was just the initial run, but they were gone in minutes, I think. Doesn't sound like you're interested in these, Steven.
No, only because Mega Bloks did a pixel version of at least 4 Pokemon, like Mew, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Charmander, and I was like, these look really nice. So these just look like, I don't know, kind of like a different artistic representation of them, so they look off in a way.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because they couldn't really copy what was already done, or else Mega Bloks could be like, no, you've taken our design. So I don't know. Now, you had a question you added on here of like, and I'll ask each of you, what your favorite Pokemon and what kind of game, current or hypothetical, would you love to see Pokemon in? So, Steven, I know you added that one in, so I'm going to ask you first.
Well, my my favorite Pokemon is and I have to look up his name because I always forget his name. But the game hypothetically I'd want is because Pokemon's not afraid of doing weird games.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me would love for them to make a digital title which just combines maybe what you used to do in Pokemon Ranger, but combine it with Katamari, where you catch them all by rolling up all the different generations of Pokemon. And it tells you as you collect them.
Oh my god!
Because I just feel, especially with Pokopia, that they're ready to do the weird stuff, and I just think that would be right up their alley to do something where you're just rolling up tons and tons of Pokemon, all in good fun, of course. But yeah, my favorite Pokemon is Mimikyu because he's trying to be Pikachu. His call out, his voice sample is the most guttural scream of a Pikachu that just sounds like it belongs in Silent Hill. And he made that costume himself. So you always wonder, like, where's your eyes? Oh, your eyes are basically the belly. Because I've always liked Pikachu, but then this guy was like a whole new version I liked. And I know there's a Ghost Pikachu coming out. I'm interested in what he's like too.
Nice. Chase, what about you?
Tyranitar. Like, simple, easy. As far as like a favorite game or whatever, I just To be fair, I don't necessarily play a lot of the Pokemon games, but I like the mainline games, so I'd be happy with just another mainline game that actually works.
I would say for you to try though, if you still have a DS, is get Pokemon Conquest.
That's
I
one
think
of the
I
few
do.
I missed out on. Yeah.
Because that's the one where all the Dynasty Warriors characters, Romance of the Kingdom characters, got their own Pokemon, and it's a what do you call it? It's a real time strategy game like Tactics. So
Oh, nice.
It's a tricky one to get a hold of now. For me, my favorite Pokemon is probably Porygon, just because I've always just kind of joked it's the only real Pokemon, because it is a virtual Pokemon, so it is still realistic because it is a virtual Pokemon in the real world, even in the game. Technically,
it no, that's been disproven.
I would like to see kind of like a new Detective Pikachu, but like an actual murder mystery, like how dark they could get. Like, give me a mature rated one.
You mean like the Who Murdered Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever it was?
I'm talking like a Detective Pikachu with Snatcher, like level stuff.
Dang,
that would just
that takes Mimikyu to a whole new level.
I mean, if you stop and think about some of the Pokemon, they are nightmare fuel for like what they do.
No, don't get me wrong. You read the Pokedex of a lot of these.
Like how many kids are killed or taken off.
Dark, especially the balloon that says it can't wait for a kid to come up and grab it because it just floats them up to their death. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I remember the original with like Marowak and them. It's just like, yeah, it's got its mom's skull. I was like, oh god, and it's gotten so much worse since then.
Charmander, if the light goes out, it dies.
So, yeah, there's the pig, the pig with the spring.
It's scared as hell, and it's like I can't have this go out. I'll die. Sorry.
Well, there was like some like pig that's got the curly tail, and that's what it's bouncing on. And it was like if it ever stops bouncing, it dies because each time it bounces, that's pumping its heart.
Yeah, I think it was Sproink.
Yeah, so if it ever just falls over or someone just picks it up and holds it, its heart just stops. And I was like,
it's like, aren't you cute? Why are you dead?
Hug your Pokemon, but don't pick them up. God, that's dark. All right, let's go into our next one. So speaking of killing things, Sony delisted over 1,000 shovelware games from one developer off their store. Bad news for fans of the Jumping Burger. The PlayStation Store has excised the game along with over 1,000 similar titles published by the same developer in what appears to be an effort to clear the storefront of shovelware, which is great. I kind of wish Nintendo would do this with some of their stuff as well. But German publisher Thigh Games? Sure, yeah, THI Games had its entire catalog of at least 1,196 games silently delisted. That is an impressive and terrifying amount of games to put out. The company, as pointed out by streamer and trophy hunter Rob Thanatos on X, published the fourth highest number of titles on the PlayStation Store. Thigh Games is yet to publicly acknowledge the removals. So if they're the fourth highest, who the hell is the first three?
So, about these games, like Jumping Burger, is you pressed X to make the burger jump, and then that was it. Sometimes you held the button, sometimes you tapped the button. But the main point of these games is, which I think was one thing that led them to be delisted, is there was Jumping Burger, Jumping Taco, Jumping Cracker, like all the different food groups, basically.
Right.
But they were basically 1 to 5 minute playthroughs to get platinum trophies.
So it was just pay for play on Trophy Hunters.
Because like even PlayStation Stars that Sony did had if you have certain like level of trophies, you get discounts on stuff or stuff like that. That I think that's why Sony went in there and did what they did. But my next question is that I posted is kind of, I wonder what led them to this.
Well, if you want to go and ask it, go for it.
So, knowing that that there's games out there like AAA Clock, and there's like 40 versions of that for Switch, and then there's the Jumping Burger collection that got delisted. So, is this something that is or should be in the respective companies' terms and conditions, so they can delist certain games devoid of any gameplay or merit? Do they even get to decide? Because I think the only thing that this probably went against them is that they were made specifically for fast trophies, and I think because of that, that's why Sony delisted them. Because otherwise, they were harmless games.
Yeah, that I think is a kind of a slippery slope because, yeah, a lot of these games you might think are kind of cheap or bad, but you never know how that's going to go over because some people looked at Vampire Survivors and thought the same thing when it first came out because it was using very, cheesy looking assets and the way the gameplay was. And like, it's become a favorite of mine and a lot of other people, but some kind of viewed it as just kind of a cheap game. And it's hard to make that determination, but like,
Yeah, because I know most of them like they can't get past asset flips. They can't get past AI because that's all over Switch eShop as well.
yeah,
And it got to the point where whenever there's a big game out there, you can tell what's popular because like we'll play Peak and then I'll go to the eShop and there's Peak mountain climbing and mountain climbing to the peak. And then I play Unpacking and then there's Unpacking Your Home and Unpacking at Home, to the point where the original developers of these games are saying, Nintendo, there's a lot of consumer confusion because you're allowing these people to put almost like horrible versions, like Timu versions of our games on the
yeah.
eShop. So I'm wondering, like, maybe I should look through their terms and conditions and be like, what gives you the right to finally delist them? Is it because you're fast tracking trophies? Is it that they're stolen assets? Because there's tons of them where they're just asset flips, where it's the same graphics over and over again, or it's just the same engine that can be made in 2 minutes or something like that. But it'd be interesting, like if they ever change something to say, all right, your game has to have more than this, otherwise we're not publishing it.
I kind of think they should have a little more oversight over it before they release the games, I guess would be the best way to put that. But Chase, what about you? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I guess to answer Swan's original question, I would be absolutely shocked if there wasn't in the T's and C's somewhere that said that they don't withhold the right to remove something from their storefront anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really crazy. Obviously,
like the final approval.
yeah, but the thing for me is that obviously what Jeremy just said makes sense too. It seems well, what's the criteria to make it on the PlayStation Store? Because I know Microsoft just released their criteria not that long ago to be able to make it on their storefront. But like, what's the criteria to make it on the PlayStation Store if they're doing this? Like, that's just
It's not much because there's another game that releases like at least for the past few years released every Sunday. I watched a video by Kyle Bossman where he played through a bunch of them.
Good Lord.
And they were just horribly done, but they were released every Sunday. And this other publisher that made 1,196 games, like when you look at the library, you're just like, you really pumped these out.
Yeah, it's
really fast.
No, I mean, I don't mind it actually, because quite frankly, I think I think they do need to probably cull the herd a little bit with some of this stuff, because people are just gonna like Expedition 33 came out, and then there was a game not that long ago that was like 33 Immortals or something like that, and it was just like, this isn't confusing at all for somebody, probably.
Thankfully, that was a different game, but yeah, I can definitely see that. Because sometimes they literally almost take the exact title of the game, which it's frustrating, especially when you're searching for it.
Yeah.
I wish these other shops, like the console shops, had something like Steam where you can say see less of this publisher and stuff like that, so you're not fed those. Because I know they don't want to say you can outright block them, because then that's just anti-consumer, I guess, or the developers will get mad. But if you can say I want to see less of these guys, so I'm not seeing AAA clock every time I'm looking for what's the recent releases, then
yeah.
It's always going to be an issue ever since we started having digital platforms where people could put their own stuff out. I mean, even back in the day, this was the downfall of the Atari, was companies just pumping out cheap games. And then when you had computers and people could just write up little programs and swap them around on floppy disks, it flooded the market for a lot of people of what you could play. And now we're just kind of seeing that delivered right to your house now as an option. And it's just so much shit.
Like I know the leaders are still Steam and mobile, but the consoles are catching up and it's bad.
For sure. Mobile, you keep an eye on and fund them apparently, but that's all on you, Steven. You keep an eye on that problem. They have your credit.
Though,
they have your credit card.
All the games I'm playing, none of them use AI.
Well, that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
It's all like actual artwork and everything. I'm like, gotta give them credit.
Well, let's talk about a possible new legal issue. So in a move that feels like they're just poking at Pokemon, developer Pocketpair has announced that their own Palworld series is also getting a card game, a collectible card game, in the middle of the Pokemon card game craze.
Thankfully, it's not physical, though. It is a game.
Oh, okay. Because last I saw it was actually like they were going to make the cards and like sell them in stores.
Because now they're saying no, it's just a game.
Okay. I wonder if they are backing off of that, going, maybe we went too far.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Nintendo Ninja came out of nowhere and stabbed one of them.
Yeah, they were like, really? Because the Pokemon, they're still actively in the middle of the patent lawsuit with the Pokemon company and Nintendo over Palworld. They pushed their Cozy game at the same time as Pokopia was announced. So pretty much like everything Nintendo and Pokemon company are doing, they're trying to kind of leech off of. They are, I guess, the most well-known version of what we just talked about, where a game comes out and then a copy comes out of it.
And this is literally the CEO has said before.
Mm-hmm.
The way he makes games is he sees what's popular and he copies it. So he's not even beating around the bush.
So I wonder, going back to your original question about these kind of games being removed, if that was occurring, would it actually have kind of held back Pocketpair from becoming what they are now? Because most of what they made their money on to begin with were knockoffs of all these other games that sometimes didn't even release fully, or would get money and then just drop the support for it. Like they had a clone of Breath of the Wild, clone in air quotes, that was barely a game, and other titles. This is just the most popular that they finally were able to get with one of these. So I don't know. What do you think? Like, would they have actually made it under those rules? You think they would have been one of the cut ones?
It's tricky because I think how it reflects in the real world, we have Temu, Wish, AliExpress, ZEN, and probably some others I'm not getting to, that all make just anything else that are obviously just knockoffs of popular items.
Mm-hmm.
Things really original, and for the most part, some people are like, "Yeah, this is good enough," and other people are like, "This is disgusting," but there's nothing they can do about it. It's just weird. It's there, I think with some things there's loopholes, but at least with games there's patents. So
it's going to be an interesting one. Before we move on, did you want to say anything, Chase, about this whole Palworld card game?
They're definitely flying close to the sun, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. That's just.
I think he's gonna wait for Palworld 30K to come out, and then he'll be like, "Hey," or Palhammer.
Yeah, there you go.
And he'll be like, "I don't like this at all."
Like you say, Nintendo and Pokemon Company are litigious. I'm pretty sure Games
Workshop is extremely protective.
Will come after your ass.
So like, we have dorks, we have stealth knights.
They will actually show up with power armor.
Yeah, probably. They actually send in a Space Marine. Well, I mean, they told Saber to completely scrap a character model because the ankle armor was wrong. They said, nope, you need to redo that. So like they're extremely protective over their IP. But in this case, I think the only reason why this is actually like survived as long as it has is because I think at one point kind of Sony kind of picked them up and was kind of like, yeah, we'll just kind of just nestle in with us guys, because obviously like, Digimon kind of just, I mean, it's like it's around, but it kind of went by the wayside. And
same as Neopets.
Yeah, so I think like there's always been kind of that look for that like Pokemon competitor. And
oh yeah, Sony would love to have a version of their own Pokemon. I think that's what they were hoping this would be until the lawsuit came, and they're like,
I think
never mind.
They already tried copying Smash, and that crashed and burned.
Oh my god, that was so terrible.
Yeah, like I think everybody was hoping that's what Digimon was going to be, and then Digimon kind of just finally decided we're not going to be that, and then it just
They're
like
like, we're gonna be Persona, and then people are like,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I mean, Digimon at least tried to do something different, and like Pokemon and Digimon, like Digimon was not a thing I was into, but like I've got friends that are really into Digimon. They like those. They grew up with them, and they were a similar but still distinct idea. Like they were still kind
Yeah.
of working on stuff together. So
Yeah,
that's why they got along.
I preferred Monster Rancher when it was back in the day.
yeah.
I had Monster in Your Pocket. That was my thing back in the day. And most people don't remember those, or the fact you can go to a 7-Eleven, buy a Slurpee, and get little like rubbery multicolored figures of them.
But it's funny you mentioned that ankle armor thing, Chase, because I have a little fun fact that people were reporting today as news, because it was a slow news day, was that for the Mario and Sonic, when it first came out, Nintendo insisted and made them change the cover, and they said, we need Mario's foot to be one step ahead of Sonic's. So they had to redo the cover.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's that whole legal posting, which is just, that's always funny to watch. Oh man. So we'll see how this next step in the Pokemon Pocketpair legal battles go. I think they're just poking at each other this whole time. All right, move on. So we had the Resident Evil showcase that happened, Resident Evil 9 showcase. I watched this earlier. Chase, I don't know if you got a chance to watch it at all.
I watched it this morning.
Okay, because it wasn't long. It's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I watched it sitting there. And Steven, you were right. You were like, you're going to watch this. You're going to be all hyped to want this. It's like, well, I already wanted the game. I wanted more.
Especially what Chase just said, they added into it, which this one, which I was like super hyped for, is they added contextual takedowns where Leon can like spin around and shoot their head off, or he can slam his foot into their head on the wall. And I'm like, and he's basically cure you now. He's curing you.
He was like fighting the chainsaw guy, pulls his gun, just shoves it right under his chin and just pops him. And I'm like,
he just like slams him on a railing. And I was just like, Yakuza cross.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
So one of the things I really like, because I've always loved the Resident Evil series, and the fact that these are so messed up because a lot of the zombies now retain stuff from their old life. You know, they showed one was like crying because the woman was upset back in the day, or there was another one that was still trying to clean because she used to be a maid, or this guy was trying to run the elevator or get to his job or something. And it's like, if you guys are familiar with the original Dawn of the Dead, they had, or Day of the Dead, sorry. Day of the Dead was the third one. They had a character called Bub, which was a zombie that the guy was experimenting with and torturing, and they were trying to get him to remember his old life. And he actually did end up remembering parts of it, and that ended up leading to the doctor's death. Great death, by the way. Or the other guy's death, where he's just like, eat me, you know, Topi choke on me. That's what it was. And that led further to the later dead movies that they did, where they started remembering more of their stuff. But it's almost worse, because like just having zombies coming around is dangerous, but you know, you kill them, they're whatever. But the fact they have a little bit of themselves that you can catch on and actually use the mechanics to go around, it's like, are you killing an actual zombie? Could it be something that can be cured and you're just ending them? Like, you never know. And it puts that thought in your head. Like, it makes it such a worse moral standing for killing all these guys. Leon don't give two shits. He kills a bunch of them in that trailer. But I'm excited for that, because I love that twist on zombies being expanded.
And he's post Resident Evil 6, Leon. So
yes, which I need to play.
To play 6, everybody, which is one of the good ones.
Well, depending if you're able to stay with us to play games tonight, we'll play something else. But if you have to go, I was going to buy RE6 because apparently I have it, but we don't have the same version and it's not crossplay. So I'm just going to buy it on Switch. So Steven and I can play it.
The other characters.
Yeah, so I can play it and see. So we'll see what happens tonight. They show how the game is separated, where Leon is more action-based, like he was in RE4 and 6. And then Grace is more survival horror, or what piqued my interest, they said Resident Evil 2 style, which I was so happy to hear any mention of that. I love the fact you can pick up enemy weapons. So like when he killed the guy with the chainsaw, Leon then just picked up the chainsaw and went after somebody else, which makes sense. You just like, if you're, if I need a weapon and I just killed them, the weapon should not just disintegrate.
Yeah,
Give me
why
the
is
thing.
it going to their hands? Yeah.
Right. Another mechanic that was kind of new, Grace, as she's sneaking around her part, can get blood samples and build it up to make a syringe that you can stab in as like an instant kill that you have to build up, and they just explode. There is so much blood spray in this game. It's like, good God. So, because they're trying to make it more horror, which is great. I'm glad they're going back to that, not just, action for everything. They also explained, the Requiem, the gun that Grace has. It's super powerful revolver, and they showed her shoot like through 2 zombies and like just obliterate their bodies. But you have very, very limited ammo. It's supposed to be like her last resort that you can use. Go ahead, Steven.
I actually also saw, because there's a press demo out there with just Grace, that you can turn off the light in rooms, have the giant monster come in there after you, and then turn on the light and watch them burn and get hurt and leave. So, like, you can actually use light as a weapon as well, which I was like, that's amazing.
Oh, I didn't know that was even a thing. Okay.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, oh, this game just keeps adding more cool stuff.
Well, another thing they added that I thought was funny is they gave Leon a hatchet, and they were like, hey, people love Monster Hunter, and people in Monster Hunter have to constantly sharpen their weapons. So let's make Leon have to sharpen his hatchet in the middle of a game.
I said, why?
He's like, I got my sharpener right here, ready to go.
So yeah, it shows him kill somebody and just starts. I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, that one to me was just like, this is so cheesy. Like, you're gonna tell me that like your hatchet somehow is super dull after like cutting through one zombie.
They're soft. The tissue shouldn't be that difficult to get through.
Exactly.
Maybe you got rigor mortis, so it was harder to cut through. I don't know.
Oh.
He's not that freshly dead. Rigor mortis does go away after a few hours. The body goes back to being just whatever later on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't the only one to have a weird reaction to that, because as soon as I mentioned it, I saw your face on the camera feed right now, and I was like, Chase knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That one was pretty cringeworthy. That was like the one mechanic. That was actually, it's a really good showcase. That was the one thing that I just cringed at. I was like, why? Like, I've got 5 zombies walking towards me. Oh, hang on a second, guys. I need to sharpen my hatchet. Like,
I laughed about it. I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit. The thing that got me to kind of cringe is like at the end of it, they had not 1, but 2 actual like partnerships for this game. And it's like, mind you, you're in buildings, you're walking around killing things, yet they're making deals with Porsche over a car because you're not going to be driving that much. And then Hamilton for watches, which I'm like, unless you can look at that watch and use it in the game, it's going to be like, how much are these things going to cost? Because they're only making a few thousand.
Have been revealed to be 1,000 to 1,300.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stick with my smartwatch and just live with this. I'm good with it.
And if you want to get the statues, that'll go with all your other collector's editions, because they're not releasing a collector's edition of this game. The statues are like $200 a piece.
A piece? Holy shit. I thought it'd be like a pair and you could display them differently.
Because over in Japan, they're 26,000 yen. So I was like, that's $260. So to us, it's 200.
Wow. Yeah, I have the only statue I got from those was the collector's edition for the RE2 remake of Leon. Love that one. It's a great statue. I have it.
Now you have to get all the other ones.
No, as soon as I missed out on the one for Resident Evil 3, I was like, all right, cool. I don't have to fight with these. So I'll just stick with my Leon. I'm good.
But yeah, the Porsche makes no sense, because I was just like, how much driving do you do in this game?
It's going to be a cutscene at best. And I bet you it's going to have a nice turnaround of the car. Or he's going to get out and be like, oh, what lovely seats. And shut the door. And
we're like, you can't get rid of this car. It's a Porsche.
Yeah,
it's Resident Evil, the Porsche commercial.
There'd be like a panoramic view of it. Then he'll get in it at some point, and you'll see like the like the LED dash and stuff light up, and they'll make it look pretty. They'll have their glamour shots, but
it's going to be car porn.
I do like that.
The only thing that The only
his grizzled state. I do like that he still got his dad humor, where like
yeah,
the nurse attacks him and he's like, "I think I want a second opinion."
yeah.
Oh my god. Go ahead, Chase.
I mean, to be fair, like the only reason why it's even a collab with Porsche is just because they're using a Porsche in the game, and so they just got Porsche to do like a actual like proper like drive it around and do and show them like all the intricate details of it. To
Capcom
send
just
them.
wants to help pay for the development of this because I'm sure it's taken a while.
Yeah. I wonder how much it cost them just to include Porsche in that, because like that's royalties they got to pay to Porsche, probably.
Well, I mean, it's probably
And the fact that both Grace and Leon, on whatever salary they are on, can afford Hamilton watches.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, all right, I could see Leon having one just simply because it's like,
He's
I saved the
a government
president's
agent
daughter.
still, so
Here's
yeah,
a
it makes
watch.
sense.
Yeah. The other girl, I have no idea. At best, they can give her that Switch 2 controller, which would feel like an insult because it's just a Switch 2 controller with newsprint. I still hate that design. I just cannot stand it. They've done so many better other controllers. They could have done something better with this, if anything. Shit,
Still
put
not
the
as-
Hamilton
still not
watch
as
over
bad
the
as
damn
the,
controller
Still
with
not as bad as
Porsche
the
logo.
Splatoon controller.
Yeah, Splatoon one's not too bad. They did show there's going to be 3 modes to play, which I thought this was kind of fun. You've got casual, which gives you general aim assist as well as easier to enjoy the story and puzzles, which awesome. Standard modern, which is more of a balanced experience with more modern controls. And they have standard classic, which makes it when you're playing as Grace, you're required to find and use ink ribbons to save. No word on if it changes anything in Leon's game or what it changes for
This is
his.
one of those games I will definitely only be playing on Classic.
Really?
I need that ink ribbon thing. I like having a problem with my inventory. That's the Resident Evil way. Is you're just like, how do I get rid of get this one square attaché case free so I can carry something else? Like, I don't like it if it's just like, oh, everything's fine. I'm like, no, I want ink ribbons.
I'm probably gonna play it on standard just to see how it goes first, and then if I decide
Because
it's
I
something
didn't
I do
mind
want to
that.
play more
I
than
didn't
once.
mind in Dead Space that some of it the way they did it was unlimited saves, 3 saves, 5 saves, and then if you die, your game's deleted. I was like,
Yeah,
cool.
I don't have time or patience
But
to
I was
do
like,
that.
I'm not doing that one. But I was like, it's cool they have that. What's not mentioned here, which I do love, is you can change from that horrible first person to the classic third person for both of them. And I'm like, thank you, God.
We have the option. That's fine. I think there's different benefits to each one.
You can either be the Generation Blah or you can be Generation Resident Evil.
Chase, we at least got him to like Titanfall. That's a mech. We got a mech in him. It's like getting a toddler to eat a vegetable. Hey, we at least got
You
the
can
mech
either
in
be
him.
Titanfall or you can be Steel Battalion. Which are you gonna do?
Oh, Steel Battalion? No, that's never gonna fucking happen. Because A, I'd have to ship it to you, and I'm not doing that. And B, that game is annoying even for me, and I love mechs. Like, you can stall it out when you're trying to start the damn thing. So yeah, we'll see how this game's gonna look. It's coming out next month, February 27th. Yeah. When I get paid, I'm gonna pre-order the set for it. I'm debating if I'm gonna get this on Switch 2, and I was debating on either PC or a console, just to be able to play it on
I might
there.
get it on the other consoles when it goes like dirt cheap because all the remakes eventually did that. But I mainly want to get it for the Switch 2 because it's going to have, for the first time in Resident Evil history, Amiibo. So
yeah, I'm still shocked they're not showing that still. They mentioned it, but they still have not shown it, which I wonder if they're saving that for the next Direct.
And they showed it in a different showcase thing. I think it was on the Game Awards, and they showed it off on their press kit. They already have a listing on Amazon Japan.
I think I answered my own question when I made that statement, because I'm betting we're gonna have a Direct before this happens, before this game comes out in February.
I always have a Direct in February, so I don't think that's not.
Requiem's going to be shown during that Direct. I guarantee it, because they're going to want to show it off, especially as good as it's potentially looking so far on the Switch 2. Like, that engine is running beautifully on that system, and I think that's going to be a nice return for Capcom to to more Nintendo stuff.
Maybe you can use the mouse controls to sharpen your axe, and you have to go.
Oh my god, I can see him do it too.
And then Chase will be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I don't need the Switch 2 now.
Yeah. Cancel.
Yeah, you have to take it off and use the camera on the bottom of it to scan an actual ink ribbon to save your game.
There you go.
It's super difficult. You got to take the Switch 2 out to a store, find an ink ribbon, and scan it to save your game. But the question you had on here, I wanted to answer. What is your favorite Resident Evil in the series, and did this showcase hype you up? And I'm pretty sure we can all agree that yes, this did hype us up. I think we're all excited to play this game. But I am curious for our Resident Evil ones. Chase, I'm going to start with you. What is your favorite specific Resident Evil in the series?
5.
Okay.
No, like, first of all, Chris, best character.
Older.
So
Punching a boulder.
yeah, yeah, it's got that meme worthy event in it. But
They all do. They all have something ridiculous.
Yeah, but 5 was, to me, it was the best. It just overall, like, I enjoyed the story of it. I mean, it's Resident Evil. Like, I don't need a real deep story to begin with. Like, and I still consider Resident Evil 5 to be probably in one of my top 3 co-op games, best co-op games to play.
Nice.
It's absolutely fantastic, phenomenal game. I'm waiting
You're
for
gonna
the
have to
remake,
play some
Capcom.
5 again.
I'm still waiting for the remake.
The rumor is right now that instead of a Resident Evil 5 remake, they're remaking Code Veronica.
They need to. Code Veronica deserves it. It's not my favorite, but I think Code Veronica deserves it.
Code Veronica needs help because it's garbage.
I love that game. The Dreamcast version, not the PS2 one.
Well,
then
add it to the list. That's like, just add it to the list. Code Veronica's garbage. I loved that game.
You heard it here for the 100th time. What Jeremy loves, Steven hates.
I don't do it on purpose.
Except Titanfall 2, oddly enough. We found our exception to the rule. All right, Steven, what about you? What's your favorite Resident Evil in the series?
For the longest time, it was 6 because each one played differently, and I loved
6
how it
was
did
a close
that.
second for me
Because Chris plays almost like super actiony. Another one's more stealth like. Each of them plays like a Resident Evil archetype.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that one. But then Resident Evil 4 Remake came out, and I was like, all right. I like all the quality of life changes, little things they did. And that was one of them that I actually like super played until I got 100%. Like, I got every treasure, I got everything. Like,
nice.
I didn't do all the achievements, but everything I could collect, I got. So I basically like explored every part of the map, tried to kill everything, didn't care if my ammo was low because I could just block with my knife or something like that. But no, yeah, I went through that game hardcore and I was just like, okay. 4 was amazingly really good. But for me, 6 came out and a lot of people didn't like 6 because it didn't feel like Resident Evil. You could keep reviving your friends, stuff like that. Whatever. But yeah, Resident Evil 4 Remake is now my number 1. Until 9.
I want to give 6 more of a chance. I have it, but I haven't really played too much of it. Like, I did hear a lot of the negativity and things about it, but I'm excited to try it with you in co-op. I think it would be more fun because I think like 5 I liked, but I agree 5 was so much better in co-op. I think than playing it.
5 and 6 are a mess unless you're playing co-op.
Agreed.
Because
my friend Jeremiah, he and I played through 5 and it was great.
Because you're just relying on your partner to be smart when it's just a CPU, and I'm like, no. You need once you have the other person as an actual player, it's so much better. And I think a lot of people who've hated 6, like really strongly, are the ones that did not play co-op.
Nice. So for me, I'm sure it's gonna be no shock to you guys. Resident Evil 2 is still my favorite out of all of them, specifically the N64 version. The reason I say that, and I've played all the different versions, except for Game.com. I'm never going to open that. I have it, but I'm never going to fucking play that version. It's terrible. It just looks like shit. But
That's my favorite one. No, I'm just
just like, I love that one. It's like, all right, we've taken this too far. Like Resident Evil 2, I've played it on the original PlayStation Network. But the N64 one is my favorite one, not just because my wife got it for me as a birthday gift back when we were dating, but that one, because I played the game so much, it's the only one that has a built-in randomizer, so I can do different things in it. You can just tell it to randomize stuff because it's a cartridge. It's not having to worry about the disc reading back and forth. It can just pop up stuff. So each time I play it that way, it gives me a challenge because I can't just go by memory of where everything is because I've played that game so many freaking times. And the other thing is I also, and it's even written on the back of the cartridges, there was like cheat codes you could put in. So if I just want to mess with it and like be invincible or have unlimited ammo or just tear through it for fun, I can do that really quickly, which I don't think were in the other ones unless you beat it under certain times or did certain things. 64, you just put in a code and have fun with it. And I like doing that on occasion because, you know, you play a game so many times, you just want to fuck around in it. Like that's just what you want to do, you know? So yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. I want to see how this one turns up. Because I'm sure we could have an entire discussion over what our least favorite Resident Evils are. I think that would be heated. That would get nasty. Oh man! All right, let's go over.
I still have yet to play 7 and 8, but I imagine that those will probably be there for me.
7, I absolutely loved, but I only played it in VR because I thought it was such a unique experience in that. Like, it was terrifying how it played. And I know, Steven, you're not a fan of the first-person stuff, but it was such a unique way to play and experience that game.
I'll just say this once because 8 right now doesn't do it. Plus, it's now got a third-person mode. Thank you. But 7, the thing I really didn't like.
Okay.
It's enough that the first person was a little like off-putting to me at first, and I was like, but I need to know the story because now I'm going to get them for Switch 2 or whatever. Is that there's fail sections, so the game doesn't just kill you. The game doesn't even give you a chance to run. Your dread is because you're doing the cinematic sequence wrong. So it's like,
I agree that can be a pain. I agree.
You need to stay out of sight until all this stuff is said, because if you show up, it says you've been spotted, and you have to load your game. And I'm like, this is not what Resident Evil ever was for me. So that part took me out of the experience for a while until it finally got rid of that later on. So once you get over that hump, I can honestly say, like, it's a good game, but it's just that section where they do a couple of characters where it's just like, if you spotted, you failed, that's it. That I'm like, I hate that.
And they weren't super clear about it at first, so you would kind of get caught because you were trying to do other stuff.
Because then they literally made some of those modes extra mode stories where if you get spotted, you lose. And I was like, but I really wanted to know the story because it was other tellings of the story and other chapters of the story. But again, it did the fail thing. And I was like, stop doing that.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't perfect for sure, but
yeah.
All right, let's jump over to the speed run. So Nintendo and Fisher-Price Little People were announced. The product description states it will have its iconic music and sound effects throughout. The character set of Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, and Bowser, sold for around $22, is already sold out and being scalped as we speak. So if you wanted it, too late.
Scalped in 2026. You heard it here first.
It's Fisher-Price for kids, man. Like this, it looks adorable. I don't know if I'm going to try and get a hold of one. I couldn't if I wanted to, but
apparently in some places they're already available, because if you look on eBay, it's showing the actual product in its packaging.
Oh, okay. Well, someone finds
people have it in hand, and I was like, wait, where did you go to get this?
Yeah, I never understand how people do that sometimes. Next up, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft have announced a joint collaboration to provide player safety across all of their platforms for online play. So this was an initiative they started back in 2020 that is coming to fruition now in 2026. It'll include things like universal parental controls, support channels, services for players both online and in stores, updates to their websites, and more. And with all the back and forth between companies and their players, it's nice to see them working together for something good for once. So this is the big three finally kind of just giving in for a lot of the crossplay and so forth and making it, because remember that was Sony's excuse. Oh, we don't want to do it because, it's not safe for our players or something. That was what they tried to do for a bit with Fortnite and Minecraft and all that. So thankfully that's ended. Next up, Sony Pictures Entertainment and Netflix have made a deal for the Nintendo live action The Legend of Zelda movie to stream exclusively on Netflix after its theater run in 2027. This is actually a deal for all of Sony Picture Entertainment's feature films to stream there, but Legend of Zelda was brought up by Netflix as an example of what they will get in this deal, which is really funny that Netflix and Sony are making a deal that involves a Nintendo property, and Nintendo has nothing to do with it. But this is also going to include the upcoming, which is why is it taking so long, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse and other films. So
more like beyond the release date.
Way beyond the release date, yeah.
Well, we all know why it's taking so long. They didn't want to pay their artists, and most of them quit.
No kidding. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, if Sony's making this deal with Netflix, because Sony really regretted the deal they made about
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes, which I did finally watch, by the way. I watched it on my last flight. Not a terrible movie. Like, once I actually watched it, I was like, okay, I get why Jen likes it. The music is catchy. But Sony really regretted selling the rights to it to Netflix. So they're like, fine, we'll get in bed with you if we can at least get our money back or something. There was one last PSA I was going to have, Steven, if you want to cover that, because I was not aware of what this was about.
Okay, so there's this game that made from the Danganronpa creator called the 100 Line Last Defense Academy. And at first they were like, this is our last ditch effort before that we might go bankrupt if this game doesn't sell well. Spoiler, the game sold extremely well, so they said bankruptcy is not in their future. Good news all around.
I think my son has this game.
But now just to confuse people, so those who have played the 100 Line Last Defense Academy know how big of a game it is because you go through 100 in-game days. And a lot can happen. So according to the publisher, however, the release is actually 2 games in 1, and that's how it's going to be marketed from now on. Because they're saying you're getting a deal. Are you confused? Well, basically, once you complete the 100 in-game days and the credits roll, for the first time, and I can't believe I'm saying this, New Game Plus really, really, really matters, because even the title menu will in fact display the 100 Line 2. You are now playing the sequel within the original game, during which you'll now make key decisions to splinter the narrative into dozens of potential branches. It's got a new trailer. If you haven't played this game yet, do not watch the trailer. It spoils the entire game for you because it's basically telling you of all the things you could have changed from the first 100 days. So basically, it's 2 games in 1. The title that launched last year is now being described as a value 1 and 2 pack. It is getting a re-release to have its first anniversary in Japan. All its music is going to streaming. But unlike my friend who messaged me saying, how do I buy this one? It is not a Kill Bill, and it is not a Wicked situation. It is not split into 2. It is not the whole thing that you have to get later. You do not have to buy a sequel. It is in the first game, but you have to beat the first game to get the sequel.
Well, that's awesome. Kind of a surprise. You've already got the sequel type thing.
So if you've got the first one, you've got both games all on cart. So.
Can anyone else think of a time that's ever happened before? I can't really think of any where it's just like the second game is just built in.
I can't think of one where they've made it where it matters. Like I said, it matters to do New Game Plus.
All right. Well, that's a new one. All right. Let's jump over to the big question. So this week, the question we've got is, do you think your favorite game of all time, or even top 3, is behind you or ahead of you now? So have you already experienced what you think is your best game? Or do you think that is yet to be, will better games come out later? So Stephen, we'll start with you.
So I would have almost said ahead of me, but because Expedition 33 came out and it is now behind me, I feel that my favorite games of all time, at least the top 3, are behind me. I don't know what else can like bring me such joy as the titles already in my top 3, and I'll just go with the top 3. And right now it is Snatcher, Final Fantasy 6, and Expedition 33. So wildly different release dates, basically release times. But I don't know if I can have something eclipse that, unless it's just like maybe a remaster of it. But I don't know. Like I know Claire Obscure is the series name, and Expedition 33 is just one of the titles in the series. So will the next Expedition blow 33 out of the water? I don't know. I don't know if lightning will strike twice. So at the moment, I'm thinking my favorite game of all time are still behind me.
Okay. Chase, what about you?
I think for me, it's, I don't know. This is going to sound like a cop out, but I don't think it really is. It's both. Like currently right now, like I've got a top 3, but there's going to be a game that's going to come out. Like you never say never. There's going to be something that is eventually going to eclipse what it's going to weasel its way into the top 3. Like I just, yeah.
So you think there's a game that can usurp your number 1?
Or make its way into the top 3? Yeah, absolutely. Like at some point, somebody, like with the amount of creative talent that's out there now, and like this, yeah, the industry sucks in a lot of ways, but there's still a lot of really creative people. There's still a lot of really creative talent, and I can't imagine that somebody at some point isn't going to make a game that's going to be like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. So I'm just going to say both. Like I've got a top 3 now, and and there's something that's going to make it better.
I think what I want to do is I want to revisit this question in December when we do our end of the year like talk, and we'll see if anything hit it.
Okay, yeah, it's
fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
We could try and work out a top 10 list of our games and just see if anything new worked its way into it. We got the year to think about it. Top 10 is hard, but we got a year to think about it. I say we do that. Yeah, for December, we do a top 10 personal list. You do not share it with each other. And you can add, remove, change whatever you want. Doesn't matter because it's your personal list. And we can go from there. I think that'd be kind of fun.
I think that would be fine because then I could see because then I could actually track if something released this year makes its way in there. Because then effectively something ahead of me made it into my top 10. But we'll see.
Because I've got a few games that I really like, but I have to stop and kind of think about what, a full 10 list would be. Like I've got a few favorites and so forth. So for me, my favorite game and what I still think is one of the best games ever made is Super Metroid. I have believed that since it came out in 94. I've still felt that today. And I think that's going to remain. Like I agree with Chase. There's going to be games that come out that amaze me and go through it. But I think inherently part of what makes a game a favorite of mine is not just the game itself, but who I was at the time with it, those experiences, those memories of it. And I can get new ones that tie into it, but it's going to be really hard to go back and kind of break how that is. And also, almost like with movies, you've got classic movies you really like. It's kind of harder sometimes for newer ones to come out because they may not make movies the same way. Not saying it's good or bad, but the tastes and style of being made changes. Like Super Metroid being my favorite game, we are definitely not at a loss for Metroidvanias. There are it is an overdone thing now. And they're good, but they don't hit the same way with me with how Super Metroid was made. All the little details on that Super Nintendo cartridge that they managed to squeeze into that 16-bit game, the sound, the effects, the story of how it was told without almost any actual story, just shown by how everything was going. God, the first time it talked, like I know that's not new for gaming at the time, but it was to me. It was just such a memorable thing when it popped up and actually spoke and said the last Metroid is in captivity, the galaxy is now at peace. I was just sitting there dumbfounded, like, the Super Nintendo can talk. That's just such an amazing moment to me, and I still love hearing it and playing that game. And that has not changed over decades. There are so many other games I really enjoy, but that is something that a developer cannot make those memories, no matter how good a game they make. And I think that's inherently going to be part of it. So a lot of my 10 list is going to be entwined with what I think are great games, as well as the memories and other things around it as well. And that's just how I've always kind of looked at stuff. And I've had people give me crap about that. Like, you know, when I listen to music, all music I listen to has memory attached to it. That's just how all of it is. And I actually had somebody give me shit about that, going like, that doesn't make sense. You just enjoy it as it is. It shouldn't have to be inherently stuck with memory. And I'm like, that's just how my brain works. That's what happens every time I listen to music or do these things. There's context to it. That's personal.
Same way with me in collecting. There's collectors and there's shelf collectors, and they can give me shit all they want. But if somebody just had the capital to buy a complete set of something, I'm like, the only thing is, oh, where'd you get a complete set of NES games? I bought it.
Yeah, you don't have the fun. You don't have the hunt, the stories, and like, oh, I remember when I found this game, or I had to trade this to get that one.
Like it was cool that like Hot Wheels is like, oh, here's that $600. Here's the whole set of everything we released last year.
It's like,
but
you
then
know,
you'd be like, oh, where'd you get all the Hot Wheel collection? I bought it.
well, like just the Hot Wheels I got today. Like, yeah, I didn't find them in the store. I hunted. I looked for these things for 2 years, but just happening to come across them. The conversation I had with the guy that was selling them, they really got along with us. And like, they gave Jennifer like this still sealed first edition 2001, like little purple Hot Wheel, probably not worth anything, but Jennifer loved it. Like that whole conversation made the experience of getting these Hot Wheels that is now tied to it. So when I look at these, I'm remembering that conversation, that friendly interaction, you know, doing all that stuff. It means so much more than just, oh yeah, I ordered these on Amazon. And I think I greatly appreciated back on one of the first podcast Christmases we did, when you challenged me to find you that Mario car. And you said, no, don't buy it online, find it. And I did. It took me a while, but that hunt was part of it. So when you look at it, you probably think, oh, he hunted this down. He found this. And now I have this because of that. And that makes it worth more and changes it. Yeah. So that Hot Wheel now means more in that regards than just being, you know, it may be, it's probably not your favorite Hot Wheel, but like just saying that's a favorite thing is inherently tied to that, not just, oh, they made it and it looks nice. So we'll see. Like, I'm sure like with Warhammer, Chase, you probably like, you love Warhammer, but you probably have a lot of memories of like playing it with other people and the times you had. And that's where part of your love comes from that. And I think that makes it an interesting way to look at, you know, collections like this. Plus I just love Super Metroid. Fucking great game. All right. So I think that about wraps it up for tonight. Oh, this has been a fun one back. I'm glad I could actually talk the entire way through. I was honestly worried my mouth is going to be weird. No one else can probably hear it, but I can hear little syllable differences, which are annoying me because I record audio so much. I can hear that little bit of a difference. No one else can. So that's all in my brain, whatever. But, you know, if you're listening to the show, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a like, share it with people. That helps us grow, gets the whole algorithm working to get other viewers and going for the show. Leave us comments. We'd love to hear that stuff. We always are wanting you to answer the big question or talk about a topic with us. If you don't want to do it over on YouTube for the video version, you can find us over on our Discord. We're always over there, happy to talk to you. Just to join in, we're a small group, but every time we get a new person, thankfully we've had some awesome people that have joined the group and actually talked to us and shared things. You can find all of that over at zenspath.com. That's the links to the video, the audio editions, other stories and things that we have on there. I write articles on occasion. You can find the link to the Discord. I'm actually working on a visual database of the history of pinball games. I've been working on the website for that, so that'll be something popping up here soon. Nice. I'll share it with you guys of how I'm working it out, but it's been kind of fun. So yeah, we're always trying stuff, and if you guys ever think of things you want to do, we can add to the website and go from there. But I've been your host, Jeremy Powers, joined once again by Steven and Chase. It's been episode 204 of the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast, and we're out. Peace.
Prepare for Titanfall.
This has been a production of the Zenspath Entertainment Network Podcast by the staff at zenspath.com. The show is created and edited by Jeremy Powers. You can find the video edition of the show on our YouTube channel at ZenspathCom. The audio edition is located wherever you find your podcasts. Links to all versions of the show, as well as to our Discord where you can talk with us directly, is located at www.zenspath.com. Please leave us a like, thumbs up, comment, and review where you can to help us grow.